I'm excited. I know that one of the things that I always get extremely excited about is training. You know, every business I've been a part of, I've always gotten up early on a Saturday morning looking forward to training. You know, training is one of those things where it gives you that fuel, right? It gives you the energy, it gives you that motivation. And after you get off this training call, and certainly I'm speaking for myself, is that I always get fired up, right? You know, after you hear the information, after you put some new oil, some new gasoline in your car, right? It's like you're just confident knowing where you're going and know what you've got to do. And so these trainings are important. You know, I remember one of my mentors said, Clifton, you know, your training, show me your training, right? I'll show you your team, right? It's the training. How many people get on these training calls? And I know at this point, you know, obviously we've got some other groups that are great and they're taking off and they're doing their own thing. And that's great. That's what you want, right? You know, Grace mentioned that today we just hit over 3,000 people, 3,200 people in this business, guys. And I tell you something, that's a rapid growth, but I'll tell you, it's certainly encouraging, you know, with all the issues, and this is a training call, we could be very open and transparent, with all the issues and the challenges of a new business and the growing pains, to be able to see that many people in the organization already. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys have a large group, and some of you guys just getting started. So I'm excited, guys, just let's get right into it. You know, some of you I've had a chance to really talk to a lot. Some I haven't yet, but I want to just say welcome. You know, we have a lot of people that are getting started in different countries, right? And one of the things that I've always focused on is not just to build locally. You know, we teach people a mentality and a mindset of building a global business. And I don't care where you are right now. You might be in the United States, you might be in Jamaica, you might be in Trinidad, you might be in, you know, Grenada, you know, wherever you are, right? In the United States. I want you to have a mindset that you're building a global business, okay? So we'll talk about how do you prospect, how do you share this business as we go on this amazing, amazing journey, okay? So who are we? Well, you know, Grace mentioned, you know, for years, my mentality and my focus and my mission and our mission has been about generation wealth, you know, doing the things, creating the mindset that can allow people to move over into a wealthy part of life, right? And so what we've done as we started Tradera is we're partnered up with two really significant, serious, focused, you know, what I call professional people, right? You know, we're all professional, but these are people that have seen the vision. Partnered with Mr. Keith Williams out of Dallas, Texas. Keith has been in the industry over 19 years, and he has the same vision. He has a vision to be able to help people earn profits over wages, right? And so with his group, and then I partnered up with Mommy Esther and you know, Christian, and they're building an amazing, amazing team. And WCM, you know, they're all about wealth creation movement, right? So we're all around the same mindset, guys. We're creating one big community or people who are just focusing on profits over wages, right? Because we understand that, you know, we've been conditioned for so many years, guys, right? All of us, right? With this employee mentality. And I tell you, it's still a challenge, even for people that join this business, right? They join with a big goal, a big hope, right? But they still come in with this employee mentality that blocks their success, right? And so one of the keys to these business, this training, is really keeping the mentality, keeping the focus, right? So what I want you guys to understand here is that as we share the presentation, there's a reason why we start with this, right? We start with the mentality, right? Because there is no doubt that we have an incredible, incredible business with Tradera that can take us to where we want to go. But it's important with these trainings that we hammer in this mentality of moving from the left side of the quadrant over to the right side. And I know some people come in and all they want to do is earn a few extra dollars. They want to earn a few extra $100 a month or a week. I don't know, right? But at the end of the day, our bigger goal or vision or purpose is to move you from this employee mentality over to this business side and network marketing. Some of you guys have to raise your belief. You have to raise your belief in this big business, right? This big business where I've seen people make upwards of close to $1 million a month, right? Right now, I encourage you guys, because a lot of what we do is all about belief. The bigger your belief is going to be, the bigger your action, your activity, right? The things that you actually do, how much time you put in, right? And the bigger or more activity or action you take is the more results you get. It's very simple, right? More belief, more action, more results. So if you don't have a big belief, and there's a lot of things, we can do a whole training on belief, right? But one of the things you have to believe in is you have to believe in the industry. You have to believe in how we're doing business, how Tradera is getting to their goal, which is just to have 1 million or billions of people, hundreds of thousands of people are students in their company, and we're getting them. So the bigger your network, you have to believe in this business concept, guys. Work on that. You have to, okay? And so as we get started in this business, you know, we always talk about where we are. Because if you don't understand where you are, you're not going to be as excited as I am. You're not going to be as excited as the other leaders are, right? Where we are right now is really where millionaires are created. Millionaires, right? But you could be in and you could miss it, right? You could be looking back 6 months from now, a year from now, and says, you know, I was there when Tradera only had 40,000 people. And now they have 400,000 people. And guess what? You were there, right? You were there before momentum. 95% of the millionaires in our industry. Guys, I challenge you after this call, you want to go to this website, right? You want to go to businessfromhome.org, O-R-G, right? Business from home, okay? That website basically goes over all the successful network marketing companies. It will show you all the top earners in the industry. People are doing similar businesses, right? In terms of the concept, network marketing, you'll see people making $500,000, $1 million a month. And do you know where most of those people come in? They come in one of the 4 stages of every growth of a business, right? And each company starts at what we call formulation. They're just getting formed, right? That's the foundation, right? And then they transition into this concentration, which is where they start to get better. They start figuring out the systems. They have a lot of problems, a lot of challenges as a new company. And some of you guys are getting used to this, right? I remember Mom Esther came in, and she's a traditional business owner, and she was having some challenges because she couldn't stand the fact that the systems were going up and down, the numbers were going off at times, and you know this rapid growth that's starting to occur was getting to her, right? And then she took a step back. I had to talk to her, and she's like, "Well, you know, Clifton, I understand now, man. If I'm gonna go to my job and they have some system problems and we can't work or we can't do this," she would never get frustrated, right? Right? But this is the same thing, and so concentration is going to happen, right? It's going to have some challenges, and this is where some people will quit, unfortunately. But I want you guys to understand, as we move into momentum, and one of the updates right now is that as of July 1st or shortly after that, this company is actually implementing a whole new back office, guys. So don't worry about what's going on and the craziness and everything. Just understand that they have a long-term vision. They've spent over, I believe, they've spent like over $100K plus to just update the system, right? And why? Because they're experiencing, they're understanding what's going on, right? They understand that, you know, systems have to get better, systems have to get stronger. You know, there is a need here. There's a business that's ready to explode. And in the midst of all of that, guys, we're still building. This last 7 days, guys, in our group have put in over 1,000 people. 1,000 people. And we're not even started yet. So I just want you guys to understand, get ready. Get ready for momentum, okay? Get ready, guys. It's going to be crazy, okay? So I want you guys to dream big. You know, this is one of those moments where if you're just thinking that you're in Tradera just to be able to make an extra $500 a month, then guess what, guys? I want you to think of making an extra $5,000 a month. If you're in to just make an extra $5,000 a month? Guess what? I want you to dream of making $50,000 a month today. I want you to dream of being a legend in this business. This company, I was talking to Dominique Barbie, and she was just telling me some of the things that are coming, guys. Just give me a sneak peek of what's coming. And they're adding 3 more levels in this business. Why? Because 2 people have already reached legend in this business. I want you guys to understand that, when Grace and I started, we had a mindset of, getting to legend in 12 months, right? And I can't believe, I believe it, but I'm just telling you, I wasn't expecting this type of growth this early with all the challenges that we've had, right? But I want you guys to understand that people are going to hit levels at record pace. And with the system, the training, the work that we're going to be putting in, you have to dream bigger. If you're just looking at getting a 2,000 square foot home, well, think about 4,000. If you're thinking about just going on a vacation once or twice a year after you make your money, think about every month, right? If you're thinking about sending your kids to certain schools, think about a different school, right? Dream big. Dream big, okay? I want you guys to understand something. I'm going to share a lot of information today. And I'm going to tell you something that I am fired up, man. I'm fired up because I see it. I can see it, right? As you get started, right, we're in a Forex trading business, right? But I'll tell you guys, I've made some money. I've made $500 on trading myself. I came in, I put in around $700. But guess what? I'm not doing trading right now. I'm just being open and honest, guys, because, it's all about timing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do trading either, right? All of us are going to be in for different reasons, but it's always going to be there. Trading, it's always going to be there, but I'm learning at the same time. And so as you come in, just understand that what we're doing is, we're giving you all the tools, all the information for you to succeed in how you want to succeed. So as you get started in Tradera, in our back office, you're going to have a study manual, right? A launch manual, right? You want to make sure you go in your back office, you click on every single tab, right? You want to spend time in your back office, click on everything, set up your bank account, set up your your credit card payments so your money can come out every month. You can stay active. If your teams are not active, make sure they are. Big things are coming. The fourth education part of what we do is we have a community, right? We have the Lit Trade House. They have a Facebook group. They have a Telegram group. There's so much information. It's almost overwhelming. But for the right person, the person who wants that information, there's no shortage of information you can get plugged into for the trading. So we don't do it. We keep it separate from building your business. Okay? And so how do you get this information? Well, it's on our group. We have a Telegram group. We have a Facebook group. In fact, we have a lot of new people joining. And right after this call, I'm going to post the getting started information. In fact, there is one set of information for those that are launching their Forex trading. Okay? It's going to have how to connect to the Lit Trade House, how to get plugged into the Forex trading, how to, all the videos about downloading your app, your MT4, MetaTrader 4. It's going to give you all of the information that you need. And then you start plugging in, start learning, becoming good at your business, at your Forex trading. Because guess what? People are making millions of dollars doing the trading. Okay? But today's call is not about that. It's about you being a business owner and what you need to do to succeed. Because remember, guys, your one goal in being an IBO, an independent business owner, and there's a reason why it's independent. Because it's your business. It's not your upline's business. It's not your downline's business. It's your business to run. And sometimes people come into these companies and they come with a mentality that their upline has to build their team for them or they don't plug in. Folks, here's the biggest thing I want to share with you is that you have to be coachable. What does that mean? I learned the hard way. When I started in this industry, I came in thinking that I could just do things how I wanted to do it. And a lot of times people just don't believe that, they need to be coached. You need to be coached to make money in this industry. You need to be coached to be successful at building teams. So if you've never built a team more than 100 people, forget about 100. If you've never built a team of at least 1,000 people, you need to be coachable. You need to understand and learn from people who have done it. It's very simple. And once you have done it, once you've built it, once you know how to do it, then you start teaching it, right? That's a true definition of a leader. So what is coachable? Well, coachable is doing what you've been asked to do, even when you don't understand or agree with it. Man, that's a hard thing to do. You don't agree, you don't necessarily have a different point of view, but you're going to listen anyways. You're going to do it anyways. So a lot of times people have this employee mentality again, and we have to just tell them what to do. Okay? Guys, please make sure your phones are muted, right? But people come in this business, they come in with a mentality that they know what to do. They're going to do it their way. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to have frustration, they're going to quit. So here's your big game plan, right? In any business, you have to have a plan. You can't go to the bank to get funding for a business without having a plan. You have to tell them how you're going to make money. What is your plan to be successful in your business? And here's the biggest thing I'm going to ask everybody to do, right, is to have a business mindset. Business mindset. Have a business mindset. So as you launch your business, your big goal is to build a huge business, a huge network. Think of Facebook. Think of how many people you have in your Facebook connection, your friends, right? Who are not really friends. But over here, you want to build a huge network. And so as you're building this network, you're going to have like 10 or 9 or 10 game plans. Your goal is to get to legend. I don't care if you believe you can or not. So your first goal is to be a founder. And guess what? I was a founder. Did it in 24 hours. David Lisiaga is a legend right now, folks. He was a founder at one point. So we all start here. What do you do when you get started in terms of building your team? Well, we're going to go through all those steps, but the first thing I want you guys to understand is this is your first goal. Your first goal in building your business is to be a founder. Congratulations, a bunch of you guys have already knocked this out. Once you become a founder, your business is going to be free. And remember, guys, it's only free until you start making money. If you're making money, you're paying your $99. Some people say, well, why is that? Well, again, you're thinking from a business perspective, right? Now you're running a business, right? If you're making money, then guess what? 99 is coming out of your profits, right? So the only way your education is going to be free if you only have 3 and you are an IBO. You're paying your $15 a month, guys. Read the compensation plan document on our business website because the company gives it to us, right? A lot of times people mess up and they believe it's their upline's fault, right? If somebody didn't tell them, well, no, what I did was in this business, when I got started, I read the fine prints, I read the compensation plan. It's on the referral program on your website. Okay? So you learn this is a business. You got to think like a business. So that's your game plan. Your number 2 game plan is to help other people to do it. There's 2 things we do in this business. That's it. Right? We get a few people, right? We build a team, right? We get 3, and then we teach people to do the same thing. You're teaching and helping people to do the same thing. It's the power of 3. But let me tell you guys, don't just go get 3 people and then you sit around and say, well, now my education is free and that's it. Well, the reality is, folks, we're in a business and our business is all about getting customers, right? Every single day, we have to get customers, never stop. Even today, after I sponsored 40 people in this business, every day I'm still recruiting because that's what we do. That's my job, is to put people in the business and then help other people put people in this business. So your goal is to build a massive distribution channel, a massive franchise business. The bigger your network, the bigger your net worth. A business community, right? We're looking for like-minded people. My goal is to have a legend in every single country around the world. And so as soon as I identify a leader in a country, I'm working with them because I want to build. That's my goal. That's just one of my goals. You probably should have that also, because if you want to build a $1 billion business, that's your business. And by the way, guys, I'll tell you something. I was in a company years ago, and that was one of my first companies, guys. And I met a gentleman who testified at one of our meetings, and I'll tell you something. I had so much respect for him. He was making millions of dollars in that company, and you know, knowing me, and I was just so coachable. I wanted to learn and everything. He made a statement that night that he had built up a business where he was earning, I think, $100,000 a month or something. I forgot how much he was making, but he ended up selling that business. He sold that organization. I don't know how much he sold it for, but he sold it for a lot of money, guys, and walked away from it, right? He was a multimillionaire. But just understand, just imagine building a business for $99 getting started, and you build it up all over the world, and that organization, you can legally sell it. That is huge, man. And so here's what I want you guys to understand. As you get started in our business, you have to have the right expectation. And that's one of the reasons why we do these trainings, because wrong expectation have people quitting, right? And so what do I mean by that, right? Well, you want to tell people that it's hard, right? You've got to come in and put some work in. You've got to come in and be coachable. You have to come in and, you know, put in 10,000 hours, right? A lot of times people see people like David Lisiago who's making $100,000 a month, $25,000 a week, or they see Dominique who's making, you know, $100,000 a month, right? Or somebody get to, you know, $20,000 a month, $10,000 a month really, really fast, right? We see Mommy Esther in her first 30 days got to $5,000 a month, right? And people come in and they, you know, they have the same expectation, but they don't want to do the work. You know, I had one guy that came in and he said, you know, he sponsored 2 people. When I spoke to him on the phone, he said I asked him what his goal was. He said he wants to be a legend. And then 30 days went by and he's not even a founder, right? I mean, it's setting the wrong expectation for yourself, right? And so here's what's going to happen when reality hits, right? That you're not achieving what you thought you're going to achieve because the expectation was wrong. Guess what? Frustration comes in. And you know what happens when frustration comes in, guys? People quit. People start to disappear. And we don't want that to happen. So make sure your goals that you set is realistic, right? It's realistic goals. It's, you know, it's what we call a realistic goals that are achievable, right? You can measure it and you can do it and you're willing to put in the work, okay? So for you people who are new in this business, you're going to go through some things in our business, in our industry, right? I'm just telling you because I experienced it. And over the years, I've been teaching people this. And it changes people's lives because sometimes people don't understand or they don't expect some of the things that are going to happen as you go out there and you start to try to build your dreams, right? You're going to be excited, right? I spoke to a pastor, just, you know, this guy is a bishop in Antigua, right? He came on board. He was on our Zoom call last night. He came out and was super excited, right? He was like ready to go. He's like, man, I'm so excited. Some people can't sleep. Why? Because all of a sudden they're seeing the vision of where their life could be. They see the vision of where they could live and how money as an issue would be out of the way and all these things of where Tradera could take them. And that's fair, right? You have a great opportunity. But in the midst of the excitement, as you go out to start sharing that excitement with people, guess what you're going to find? You're going to find that some people are not as excited as you are, right? You're going to find that as you call people, some people are going to be negative. Some people are going to talk to you about other companies or opportunities that are even better in their opinion, right? And what's going to happen? It's going to create doubts. It's going to create doubts in you, in your mind. And guess what? Your excitement starts to go down. And as your excitement goes down, guess what's going to happen, guys? Your belief goes down. And remember what happens with belief? When belief goes up, action goes up, and results go up. And when belief goes down, action goes down, right? And income, results, success goes down, right? And so you have to be cognizant of that, right? And this is where 80% of people quit. 80% of people quit here when they fail, when they have negativity and distractions and all these things that are happening. And then how do you avoid this, right? How do you avoid this? The people who have no goals, they don't know why they're doing the business. They're not passionate for change. These are the people that actually quit. But the ones that have the goals, they have the commitment, they have the desire, right? They have the motivation. They have a big reason why they're doing it. They're going to find ways to get their excitement back up. And how do you do that? It's through these meetings, these trainings that we're on, plugging into your upline, plugging into somebody, a source of energy that's going to give you that motivation to keep going, right? Plugging in on the daily opportunity calls where you hear other people who are excited and people who want the same thing, right? To re-engage in what you're doing. So you've got to fight that only 20% of people actually fight, right? Fight to keep going, right? In the midst of all these negativity and all these people who are not going anywhere. And so you just want to keep your excitement at a medium. You don't want to get too excited and you don't want to get too down at times, guys. That's the emotional roller coaster, and it goes up and down every single day. We get disappointed, we go down. We get excited, we go up. Just manage that. Know it's going to happen. Here's what I want you guys to think. Your mindset. What is your mindset when you're starting your business? Your big business, right? Your mindset has to be right. Here's one of the things I want you guys to understand, right? Is that 98% of the people that are out there are broke. 98% of people don't know information that you know, that there is another way. 97% of people are like everybody else. They're insecure. They're just barely surviving. They're fearful. They don't want to do something different. They put things off. They procrastinate. They have regrets. They're selling for less. Folks, all the odds are against us in what we do, right? 98% of people. So the reason we do these trainings is because you have to stay positive. You have to fight against the odds, right? You have to be confident. You have to plug in. You have to be involved in what we're doing. We're fighting, we're breaking through all the things that are in our way to fail, right? And so here's what I want you guys to understand, right? Here's what I want you to understand. Understand what it takes to succeed. What does it take? I tell people it takes you being a leader, right? A leader is having a burning desire. First of all, you have to have a burning desire to succeed, right? What you truly want out of this has to be so strong that, man, you can't sleep, right? And there's going to be a learning curve, right? Somebody said to me, and over the years, I've gotten to learn that if you want to be great at this, if you want to be a professional at network marketing, at building teams, at building your income up to 6-figure a year, right? You have to put in 10,000 hours. It takes 10,000 hours for you to become an expert at your profession. Man, that's a lot of hours. But when you really think of it, how much effort or how much time does a doctor put in their profession, right? Learning, going to school, practicing, going to the next level. How about a lawyer, right? How about a pilot? They talk about how many flying hours you need to have before you can do certain things. Our business, our industry is no different. So many people come in, they don't want to learn anything different, right? These are the things that you're going to go through, folks, and the biggest part of it is your attitude. It's having the right attitude to do the things that we're asking you to do, to put in the hours, to come on these training calls. My goodness, we're on a training call for an hour, a business call. And people can't even come on, guys. We as leaders should not have to call you to get on your business call every single week. Because guess what? If you're starting your business today, your traditional business, and you don't show up and turn that key, open that door, right? You're not going to have customers. You're going to be losing money. And for so many years, for 14 years in this industry, that's how I've treated my business. I wake up every morning thinking it's my business. I get up every morning thinking that I have to be on this call. I have to lead. I have to show up. And if your team sees you doing this, guess what they're going to do? They're going to do the same thing. Because I've gotten to realize that people do what we do, not what we say. So if you're pushing this message out to your team, guys, get on this training call, then you're not on, guess what? They're not going to come on. You have to be consistent and persistent. So you have to have a long-term thinking, guys. This is not about 30 days. This is not just about getting 3 people. You're in a business where you're recruiting, you're growing your network every single day. You're going to put in 10,000 hours in this, and you're never going to quit, right? You're going to be a leader. You know what a leader is? Not somebody that has a lot of people in their team. I have people right now with hundreds of people in their organization, and they're still a founder, right? Because they're not leading. They're not doing the things that they need to do. They're not being coachable. They're not following the system. Because if you follow the system, I guarantee you're going to have results. If you put in your 10,000 hours, you're going to be being successful in this business. If you're being a leader, it's just doing the things that you need to do, put in the time that you need to do, and then you lift people up. You encourage them to do the things that they need to do, right? You don't lay blame. You don't blame your upline. You don't blame the company. You don't blame the system that's breaking down. No excuses, man. No excuses, right? I have people, and guys, listen, let me tell you, I had a mentor once, he did a training. He says, Clifton, man, do you guys want a soft training, right? Do you guys want me to just, butter you up and give you some nice information, or do you want a hard training? Do you want a training that can actually, it's real training, reality training that you can take and you can apply it, right? You guys remember I talked about being coachable? Man, I've been through so much. We have had coaches that have been tough. That says no excuses. Right? From time to time, people call me and say, Clifton, you know what? You haven't been plugging in because life happens. This person passed away, or this thing happened, or, I'm going through this, I'm going through life. Guess what? We all go through life. Jim Rohn said the same wind blows on us all. Everything happens to all of us, right? But you know what I always say to myself? When that situation happens to me, and I'm a leader, I'm doing the conference call, I'm doing the training, what do I do? Do I call somebody and say, no, you go do it? Or do I do it? Right? Remember, everything we do, guys, we're putting a business mindset, right? We're putting a business hat on, and we're saying to ourselves, well, if it's my business, if I just paid $1 million for this traditional business, and I have to open the door so customers can come in, right? And I don't go because something's happening in my life, right? Who's going to open it? Is it my money that I'm losing? Who's going to open the doors? Who's going to do it, right? And so I say to myself, when I get up in the morning and I don't feel like, or I don't feel like doing this, or have a disappointment, I say to myself, well, if it was my traditional business, would I go? If I don't feel well today, right? If it was my job that I had to go at, would I go? And the answer is, if I would, then I should. Right? I see people when I was working my job for 20 years, their legs were being a cast and they'll still be going to work. So why not work? Why not go to your business? Right? The mentality, how you approach your business, right? Your attitude towards your business is what's going to make you successful. Right? Your mindset. And then people say, well, what do I do? I just got started. No, I have the right mindset, but what do I do? What actions do I take? And again, there's a system for that. For 14 years, I've learned this. I had a company where, the CEO was a guy who made millions and millions of dollars, and he would train the system for success every day. I've learned it so well, guys, that I could do it in my sleep. And so we're going to teach you. But the mentality, as you get started, understand that there is no building steady. Somebody said to me one day, man, I'm just going to be slow and steady. There is no slow and steady in this business. It's either you're growing fast or you're not, right? If you're not growing fast, people are falling off fast. And so you've got to build with speed. And that's why people like Mommy Esther and people like Mr. Keith Williams and people like Christian, they come in this business because they have experience. They understand that success loves speed. Folks, as you get started, you got to go. You got to go fast. It's easier to build it fast than it is to build it slow. Remember that. And so as you get started, some of you guys started a month ago. Guess what? You're just starting today. Some of you guys started 2 months ago. You didn't go fast. Well, start over. Today, you're starting over. Success loves speed. What do I mean by that? As you get started, your goal is founder in 72 hours, 3 days, right? I tell people, go for it in 24 hours. Go sign up 3 people, friends, family, anybody. Why? Because you're creating your story. Remember, people do what you do, not what you say. When they join, say, well, how fast did you get to founder? Well, I did it in 24 hours. Do you know what they want to do? They want to do it in 24 hours. That's why we tell Mommy Esther's story, right, of getting to Duke in 30 days, right? That's what we tell Georgette's story and Debbie's story and Duncan's story, that they get to levels in days, right? You have to put some things to the side, and you've got to get going with speed, guys. Some of you guys who are starting over today, guess what? Your story is going to be, guess what? You know, when I started, I didn't start fast, but I relaunched my business on Saturday, and guess what? In 24 hours, I got 3 people. Folks, your story is what's going to drive your business, right? And so as we talk about what to do and how to do it, how do you bring people into business? How do you build a big, big network, right? Here's what to do. And the first thing I want to tell you is you have to be on great foundation, right? You have to be something that's going to drive you. Is your why. Why are you doing this business? Because as you go through all the challenges, the disappointments, the up and down in our business, right? The thing that's going to keep you going, the thing that's going to fuel you is the reason why you're doing this business, right? Your reason cannot be, oh, I just want to get to legend. That's not good enough. Because as soon as you experience a challenge, you're going to quit, right? Your reason has to be so strong. Like, I wanted to get out of my job so bad that every Sunday night I would have a headache. Every Sunday night, right? Anxiety. I would have a headache because I didn't want to go to work. I had enough of going to work. I had enough of going every single Monday morning, hitting the highway for 2 hours back and forth for 20 years, right? I did not even like my boss anymore. I didn't even like my paycheck anymore. Maybe I did, right? But it still wasn't enough. Your why, your reason, maybe you're in a position right now where you're broken down, right? You're looking to get money as an issue out of the way, man. Whatever your why is, and you're dreaming big, that has to be strong, because if it's not, you're not going to have the belief. And your belief creates your activity, how much work, how much action you take. Your why determines that, right? If you don't have a strong why, you're not going to make it. And so what do? Well, remember, our mindset now is to go to work. We're going to build a big, big network of people. We're going to start at a founder, then we're going to grow through the ranks of now becoming a noble, and then our next game plan is going to be a bishop, and so on and so forth. So if you're starting a business today, how are you going to get your customers? How are you going to get your people in your business, your team, your network is your customer in the business, right? It's your people that's working for you, and our business is working with you. And so you have to make a list, right? The first thing I ask people is how many people on your list. This is not how many people in your phone, it's how many people you've written down. So you got to get out a book. Go buy a book, right? My wife beats me up all the time because every day I'm buying a new book. I'm writing a new list, right? Hundreds of people. When I started this business, I looked at my phone. I had 4,000 people connection to my business. Why? Because over the years, I've been building up my list. Right? So who are these people? Friends, family, people you work with, people at church, people you don't know, your enemy, frenemy, anybody. Everybody goes on this list. And then you want to sort them. You want to put the people that you believe are the highest, the sharpest, the best people. What do I mean by that, right? Some of us have been in business with other people in other network marketing business. Put those people at the top. Put people who are money driven, people who are go-getters. Put those people at the top. People put the people, we call it your chicken list. The people that, you don't even have the guts, you don't even have the strength to call them. But this is just a list building. You put them there, right? Then what do? Right? You need to work a system. We call it the system for success. And I'll tell you, the people who have made millions and millions of dollars in this industry, they get great at the recruiting system. Folks, what we do in network marketing is recruiting. I'm sorry to tell you. We build a team. We build a sales force of people, okay? And you've got to get great at the system. right? It's a recruiting system. It starts with a discovery. Discovery just means that we just talk to people that are on our list. We call them up and say, hey, John, how you doing? It's been a while. We just discover. We talk to them. And then the idea is to invite them. Your goal is to invite them for what? To take a look at Tradera. And then you're going to present. You're going to find a way to present it to them. And if they say no, you're going to follow up. You're going to just not forget about them. You're going to follow up with them. So important. And then when they finally sign up, you're going to put them in the system. And then when you put them in the system, we're going to get them on the training. We're going to go through the cycle, right? If they say no, we ask them, well, who do you know that could use this type of business? Because those referrals are going to go on our list. And then we're going to discovery. We're going to go through the cycle, right? But I want to break it down very, very simple in what we call the PS3, right? For some of you guys, this is going to be new. But guess what? Again, 10,000 hours. You're just going to practice it. You're going to get better at it. You're going to do it, right? People are not succeeding right now in our business because they do not follow this system. PS3, what is it? The P is to pique somebody's interest. So you have your list, you know why you're doing this, and now you're going to start contacting these people. There's a number of things you can say to these people, right? Some people say to people, depending on who this person is. You may not know them, maybe if a stranger, but if you connect with somebody on Messenger or Facebook and he says, hey, would you be open to making an extra $1,000 a month without changing what you're currently doing? Right? Somebody may say yes. Well, what is it? Right? And then you're going to go to the next step where you're going to share. But peaking could be, like what I did was I sent out a scripted text message because I have so many people on my phone. I've already signed up 40 people, but guess what? I'm not done. I'm sending out to all my contacts. So when I started, I was building this business from day one, 3 months ago. I was connecting with 250 people a day. Some of you guys are going to say, you're crazy. But remember, my dream, my goal may be much bigger than some of you guys, right? So remember, bigger your goal, bigger your activity, right? So peaking is contacting people, right? It's just contacting, touching base with people, talking to somebody with the intent of inviting them to take a look. That's it. What do you say when you call them, when you contact and you pique their interest? Right? It's two things, urgency and excitement. So now you call somebody up from your list. You just want to say, John, it's Clifton, man. We haven't talked in a while. How are you doing? John, I'm so excited, man. Right? Are you open to make some extra income? A lot of people are losing their job right now, obviously. Right? Or I just got laid off and I found something online that people are making a lot of money with. Are you open to maybe looking at some information? Right? You're contacting people, right? There is no wrong or right way, folks. You have to make the contact. So P is piquing somebody's interest, talking to them, discovery, right? Then you share the business. Well, how do you share this business, right? It's not so much what you share with them, whether it's a conference call or Zoom or a 10-minute video that we have, or you share the information yourself. It's more about how you do it. So the sharing is how, right? Write that down. Is how you share it. And that sharing has to be with two things, right? Urgency is number one, right? When you call somebody, you invite them. It's urgency, right? This is urgent because why? It's moving fast. It's growing fast. People are making a lot of money. You need to take a look at this. People move. If you have the ability to move people, you're going to get people in this business, right? And you only move people with urgency and excitement, right? If the fire alarm went off, guys, everybody's moving. They're taking action, right? This is a fire alarm, guys. People are going to make millions of dollars. And so you want to share the business. You want to invite them. And how we do that, yourfreedombiz.com is the 10-minute video. We created that because everybody can share that, right? You share the opportunity, right? And then 3 is the 3-way call, which I believe is the most important thing because people miss this, right? 3 is the 3-way call, right? And so if you don't know what a 3-way call is, or if you've never done a 3-way call, you need to practice. You need to call somebody after this call and practice with your kids. Call your kids, right? And you say, okay, hold on for a second. Let me add somebody else. Three-way calls is just having a three-people conversation. You can do that on WhatsApp. You can do that on your regular phone. You just add a caller. And when that person's on, you merge them. Guys, I'm giving you basic stuff because some people don't know, right? You need to teach your team this as you develop and become a leader. Because I promise you, this is the most important thing. And shout out to Kimberly. Man, Kimberly, if you're on the call, I tell you, she does at least 2 three-way calls with me every single day. And guess what? She's got probably about 60 people in her team the first month, and it's just getting ready to explode, right? Because the validation is the reason for the three-way call. You could say anything you want, guys, but guess what? When you validate your business, when somebody else validates your business and says, yes, John, it's right, man. We are killing this. People are coming in this company. The trading works. This thing works. When you get your business validated, you close people. Why do you think when you go to buy a new car, right, and the salesperson shows you everything, then they call their manager over just to say hi to you? Why do you think they do that? They're closing the sale. Folks, we have to close people in this business. And even when somebody gets started because they're excited and they just sign up right away, you didn't have to close them in a three-way call. The minute they get started, you still need to invite them on the phone with your upline. Let us welcome them to the business, folks. That's going to take their motivation. They take their excitement to the next level. It's still a three-way call. And so let's set up this three-way call. How does it work? How do you effectively do a three-way call? Well, the mindset is the first thing. The mindset is that you, as a brand new person, have never had success in this industry, right? So why would your family and your friends follow you, right? They trust you, so that's why they're going to take a look. When you call Mary, she's going to take a look because she knows you. She's just giving you that piece of she trusts you, right? So she's going to just take a look, and that's what you want. If I call Mary, she's not going to come because she doesn't know me. Even though I may have made millions, she doesn't know me. So you being the IBO, right, you need to have an expert, myself, Mr. Keith Williams, somebody who's your upline. It doesn't matter who. It's just somebody who knows the information, understand how to conduct a three-way call, what questions to ask, and how to close. That's all. Because your prospect doesn't know the expert, right? But they respect them because they're somebody different. And the reason they will respect them is because you're going to edify them. And edification is a whole different training, but it just simply means that you're going to say some good things about them. And those few things should be around few things, right? It should be one that they know what they're talking about. They've been doing it for a while. They have 100% of the information or the facts. People want to hear that, right? Right? And number two, you want to say that this person's a fun guy or a fun person, right? Because people want to be around fun people. So number one, they have 100% of the facts. They're a fun person. Number three is that they are making money or they're having success with the business. And success could be different things. Maybe they could be a noble, right? A founder, right? You don't have to get into the details. Just say they're having great success. If they've made millions, great, say that, right? And then finally, they're helpful. They're helping me. And that's why I'm putting you on the phone with John, because Mr. Wright is one of the leaders in our business. And so when do you do a three-way call? When they have seen some information, not before. And so John now has seen some information. You told John about me, Mr. Wright, and you said, John, guess what? I know you just came off the Zoom. I know you just saw the 7-minute or 9-minute video. Man, you got to talk to this gentleman. He's building a great team, and he's the one that's helping me because I'm new, right? Hold on just 1 minute. And you want to tell them that he's very busy, so I may not get him in case you don't get me. But you want to tell them that he's extremely busy, he's building a great team, and I just want to see if he's available just to say a quick hi to you. You may have some questions. You put John on hold, and then you call me. I answer the phone. I'm going to say, hey, Mary, how you doing? You say, great, great. You say, Mr. Wright, I have John on this side. John just came out to Zoom. He's excited. And maybe you want to tell me something about John. He's, is what he does, whatever. You want to tell me about John. Then you're going to connect the phone. When you connect the phone, you say, John, this is Mr. Wright. I told you about Mr. Wright. This is John. Say hello. What you do after that is be quiet. Folks, why would you jump in after that if you've already edified somebody of knowing everything? Sometimes people do that. You don't do that. Your quiet is not your conversation after that. After that, your next thing is to say, thank you, Mr. Wright, after the conversation is done. Because my job is to get him in the business. And folks, if you can do this, you're going to become an expert. You're going to make a six-figure income in Tradera. I promise you. If you can do this PS3 where you have a big list, every day all you're doing is inviting people to take a look with urgency and excitement. You get them on the Zoom, and you're good enough. You get great enough at this that you're able to get people on a three-way call. Man, I promise you, your closing ratio will totally explode. Every time people call me and they're struggling and says, man, I can't get anybody. Everybody's saying no. Some people saying, well, nobody wants it in my country, but yet we just put in 10,000 people in this company, right? People are looking, but you're doing something wrong. My mentor said, Clifton, there's only two reasons why people fail in network marketing. Number one, they just don't do anything. They join it and then they go in the witness protection program, folks. They disappear. They don't do anything, or they're in, but they're not working. Network marketing, right? And the second thing he said is either not doing anything or they're doing the wrong things. And so anytime somebody calls me and says, you know what, they're struggling, they're not making money, their group's not growing, nobody is signing up, I ask, well, how many three-way calls do you do per day? Because guess what? If you effectively talk about the business, you're excited about it, you tell people that people are making money, people are ranking up, all these things are happening, you invite somebody to come on a Zoom and they get on, and when they're done, you follow up with them right away, and your intent is to get them on the phone with me or somebody else. If you're doing that and people are not joining, something is wrong. It's impossible. That's why Kimberly's having so much success, right? That's why Debbie's having so much success. That's why so many people who are doing it, because they're doing the deal. They're doing the three-way calls. And folks, when I got started in this business, guess what? I was doing three-way calls, right? Because I had great success in this industry, but I'd never started making money yet with Tradera. So I was using Megan's story. I was using other people's story that they were making $2,000 a month back then. Why would you have somebody who's making $20,000 a month and you're not connecting people to them? Man, I tell you, if I had myself, I tell you, man, I would be, listen, I had a guy who was in business with me, and in that business, he made $500,000 working with me, right? Not because I was great, but he literally put me to work every single day with the system. 3-4 times a day, he had three-way calls, right? He wasn't calling us as Clifton, are you available? Folks, you're hungry and excited, right? You're calling me, you're setting the right expectation. You're telling your prospect, this guy is busy. Let me try him. Let me see if I can get him for a quick minute. If you can't, guess what? You've already told him that I'm busy, right? But for those of you that are working with me or working with Mr. Keith Williams, you know how we work is that if you call us with somebody on the phone and we don't pick up, you send us a quick text and say it's a three-way call. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get off my call, or I'm going to, I'm going to just, step away from a meeting. I'm going to come for a quick 2 minutes and say, and close your people. Because that's what we do. We're working the three-way system. Okay? So some of you guys say, well, you know what? I'm frustrated because, I'm going through all these people. Let's face it, folks, 80% or more people are not going to join you. Right? We're going through a lot of people. A lot of people. I went through like 3,000 people. Some are joining after. Right? Not everybody's going to see it. Right? We're all looking at Tradera. But a lot of your people that you're sharing with not going to see it. Don't get frustrated, right? It's the expectation, right? Some of you guys are even started in this business. Some of you are on this call right now, and you still haven't seen it. You still don't see the big picture and what's coming today, that we're going to make millions. Right? Some of you guys still don't see it. You're looking at the opportunity, you're in it, but you don't see it. And some of you are saying, well, why the heck are you showing a FedEx truck? Well, it's because I want to show you that you could be looking, your prospect is looking at the same thing that you looked at, and you saw it. You saw the vision. You saw where this is going. How simply it is for people to make 500 a month, 1,000 a month, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 a month, $1 million a year. You see it, but they're not seeing it. You need to understand that not everybody's going to see it, even if you go through the system. And so as you look at this FedEx sign, this truck that's passing us every single day, there's an arrow in that sign, in that FedEx sign. Can you guys see it? There's an arrow in that sign. Can you see it? Some of you guys are saying, I don't see it. Well, it's right there. It's right in front of you. Right? It's as clear as day. But some of you guys can't see it. That's how your prospect, that's how your people are looking at it. Right? Until at some point they will. Some people will come later. But I want you guys to understand that because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Everything right now, guys, is in place for you to succeed. What do you need to succeed? The people are there. There's millions of people in this world. How many people do you need to become a legend? 5,000. How many people do you need to become Duke, right? 250 people. That's it. Some of you guys don't even believe you can get there. You can't see it yet. But everything is in place, guys. The people are there. The compensation plan is there. Trader is there. Everything is all there. It just has to be connected, right? It's the work. The work has to be done. The sorting has to be done. So the big picture is all you're doing is sorting. We're just going through a deck of cards. The world, the economy, the people that are out there. All you're doing is sorting. You're sorting for some aces, right? The people who knows that the aces are there, they continue to work, right? You know, you have the confidence that when you pick up a deck of cards, there are 4 aces, right? Because you know. So if you're looking for the 4 aces, if you're looking for the Clifton Wright of the world, you're looking for the Mr. Keith Williams of the world, you're looking for Mommy Esther, the Christian, you're looking for people like Debbie and Georgia that's on this call, and Kimberly, and those people who are making it happen. These are the people that we're looking for, right? First thing is to be that person yourself. The second thing is just understand that they're out there, but it's going to take some time. I don't know what your time is. Your time could be 30 days. Your time could be right as soon as you get out the call. Your time could be a year from now. But are you going to be here? But when you pick up a deck of cards, you know the 4 aces are there. So even if you went through 98% of the cards, right? You know that the last 4 cards are going to be aces because you know they're there. But what if we could tell you in life, in network marketing, as you build your business, those aces are there. But why would somebody join you? You have to be better, right? You have to be committed. You have to be that leader, right? We're going to have everything in the deck of cards as you go out there in the world and you start sharing this business, sharing your excitement. You're going to have people who are doing a little bit, right? You're going to have some numbers. You're going to have a jack. You're going to have a queen. You're going to have a king, right? You're going to have people at all different levels. They're going to do different things in your business. 80% of the people in your business will do 20% of the work, right? We're going to let those people who, the 20% of guys, I built, all the businesses I built big, right? I can look back now on only 4 or 5 people, right? Were responsible for the 10,000 people, or 4 or 5 people responsible for the 30,000 people. The first time I heard that in network marketing, I couldn't believe it. I heard a multimillionaire said he made over $20 million. And all that money came through 4 people. 4 people were responsible, not just 4. He had hundreds of thousands possibly of people, but they were all connected to 4 key people. And they may not be people that you bring in. That's the beautiful part about this business, right? I signed up Keith Williams, I signed up Mommy Esther, some of these people, but it's the people that somebody that you brought, who they brought, that may end up changing your business. You don't have to be the one who sponsors them. They just have to be in your business. So guys, just be confident that as you're sharing this business here, those people will come if you're consistent and you're persistent and you're following the system, the PS3 system, and you're on your way to putting your 10,000 hours in your dreams and your goals. So I'm done. So what I want to do is I want to switch gears. I want to talk about some recognition. Man, we are so excited. This past week we had so many people got promoted.